Aloha and welcome. This is Avine Doyle from avinedoyle.com, and I am here to shed a little light on the summer solstice, the 21st of June 2022. So you can expect a clearing of the lower mind stuff that's been coming up for you. If you've been feeling a lot of fears, lower mind, crazy dreams, dreaming out your anxieties, your worries, your concerns, the good news is that this summer solstice is incredibly expansive and healing and gentle and compassionate, and you can do a ritual. It's always good to do a ritual on the summer solstice, but this year it's especially powerful because we are amplifying those fifth dimensional frequencies as we go higher and higher into our ascension journey. So any healing you do around this time is going to be exaggerated, expanded, activated on a whole deeper level. I had a session over the phone with a lady I've never met before, never did any work before. It was connected to the rainbow bridge technique. I did that several years ago and I found it very interesting. I found the results very powerful in my life. I happened to come across that course around a time that was absolutely magical, where everything just seemed to line up in my life around that time. And I feel like the rainbow bridge technique just fit into that beautifully. So this lady specializes in that, and the insights that I have had even since that chat on the phone, basically she just checks your central channel to see how your meditations and your clearing work is paying off, and she can tell you if there's any blocks or where you need to work or where you need to focus. But since then, as the energy is building up to the solstice, and the summer solstice is tomorrow, the amplification of information, downloads, uploads, whatever you want to call them, just wisdom from the soul infusing into my consciousness has been awesome. I've had really fascinating insights going all the way back to when I was 16. This lady said to me that there was an experience I had at 16 that was coloring and affecting my relationships. And at first I was thinking, 16, I really wasn't very streetwise or living a lot of big outside life at 16. But then just at the last minute I remembered, yes, I reconnected with a friend that I'd had, a childhood friend in school, and we had like this little very innocent, sweet relationship, very short for the summer, but it had a big impact on me, and it had a huge impact on him, to a point where we've stayed in contact. We knew each other as kids starting school, and then in those days the school system, the Catholic school system, split the boys and girls apart, which was very traumatic for me because a lot of my friends were boys. And it actually triggered a memory for me of all the boys being lined up on one side and all the girls were lined up on the other, and the teacher saying, "Say goodbye now. Say goodbye to your friends. You're being separated." And I remember choking back the tears and literally crying and feeling the pain of that separation, which if you've watched my recent videos and listened to my audio message on Telegram, I talked about how we remember the pain of separation from God, from Source. So this separation theme was being reinforced. And then at 16, we reunite, we have this beautiful experience of connection and companionship and friendship and tenderness. And then I moved to a whole different part of Dublin. And when you're 16, that's like the end of the world, and we break up, and then it's separation again. So it's incredible. I mean, all those years ago, that's something that happened. And we know this, right? We know that the past, if it's not tended to and healed, and if there's anything from the past that we're carrying in our energy field. And by the way, when I think about that time now, I don't have any emotional charge. Like, I was really surprised that out of my relationships, that's the one that was brought to light, because it's so long ago. It feels like many lifetimes ago. And on top of that, I really don't or didn't feel like I have any emotional residue to it. But it was about the belief. It was about the mirroring and the enforcement of taking on something that he actually believed, because he had had a lot of trauma. And I remember doing healing work on him at 16 in a graveyard. I remember working on him and helping him to process the 2 deaths. I won't get too much into that because I want to respect privacy, but I just remember, for speaking of my own stuff that I'm able to speak about, I remember being 16 years of age and feeling my healer self kick in and providing that space, holding that space, and being a source of, like, channeling comfort, channeling love, channeling spiritual connection on his behalf. But also feeling the weight of that responsibility, that it was important that I was able to help this person because they were clearly struggling. He was drinking a lot and other stuff, and I was concerned for his well-being. So it was very interesting to travel back in time, literally it felt like time travel, and to rethink and to have a whole new mature perspective on that experience and how it colored future experiences. So I'm illustrating the point that this summer solstice, or whenever you're seeing this video, it's always a good time to clean up our vibration around past experiences. That doesn't mean you have to go digging up skeletons and unearthing reams and reams of childhood details. That's not what I'm saying. But to be able to look into the heart of a matter and to see the root, to see where the seed was planted, and to be able to say, I'm now ready to uproot that, and to see that seed which is growing roots in my life is no longer relevant. It's obsolete, and it's beliefs and energy that does not belong to me. So this is a great time to say to anyone or anything or any past event or any negative ties you have to the past, that I release all energy that is not mine, and I release and detach from all limiting beliefs that that do not belong to for my highest good. So it is a great time. I just realized I'm not looking in the camera. The camera's down here. Anyway, this is it's a great time for clearing. And with the frequencies of this solstice, you can clear things fast. You can have a big shift in your energy now. So the lower mind stuff that has been playing out since, for most of us, since April 2020, because we are integrating what's true of the soul and what is false of the personality. So we've been sifting and sorting and clearing through different layers of being, so that as we move forward and as we ascend, we are only bringing with us what is authentic, what is true, what is actually meaningful and of value to us as we move forward. So this is about values, and it's about what connections are valuable to me now. Am I spending my time valuably with people I have an authentic connection with? It's a great time to cut ties, to cut cords, negative cords that bind us to people, but not just people, but substances. Is a great time to face addictions. It's a great time to look at ties that bind us to emotions that no longer serve us. And as I said, limiting belief systems, and being able to have a long, honest look at what those fears that are coming up represent, and how we can transform the fears now into the light versions of ourselves. You may also be feeling a building of excitement. So there is an excitement to this energy coming in. So after you deal with the lower mind and you clear the layers of that, you make space then for this fresh, new, exciting energy to come in. And I've been feeling this for a while. And every time it comes up, I'm just allowing the energy to be enough. So you may be tempted to jump into that excitement and be like, oh, I can feel something's happening. I need to go and take lots of action. I need to call that person, or I need to, I don't know, whatever represents excitement for you. You might feel tempted or seduced into jumping into action straight away with it. But what I keep getting from my angels is allow the energy to be enough. Allow the energy to support you and to just sit with the energy, be in the energy. Don't be in such a quick rush to squeeze that energy into something tangible and physical and manifestation, because there's a gestational period that's playing out right now. So we need to be patient, we need to be creative, and we need to allow ourselves to swim in the dream fluid. I don't know why I'm getting that. That sounds funny. We need to allow ourselves to gestate in the creative juices that is the stuff of dreams. I just got that now. So, okay. And then they're saying, think of the fetus with the placenta in the mother's womb, with the water in the womb, and how it has to grow and develop. And yeah, it's developing. So that's what they're trying to say. So this energy, we need to allow the energy and the lovely high frequencies and high vibrations of that, allow that to develop. Okay, now they're showing me somebody in a dark room, like dipping the photographic prints in the water that they used to develop the photographs. Remember the old-fashioned way? In the dark room, developing prints. Okay, so for some of you, you feel like you're in the dark, but you're actually in the dark room developing creative photographs and prints of future experiences. I love it. Thank you so much, angels. That's such a gorgeous metaphor or symbol of what's happening right now. So things are developing, things are growing, and this is a very lush energy, this summer solstice. So simply allow it to be lush and allow that lusciousness to be enough, and then you'll get inspired, things will line up, synchronicities will abound, and then you'll know to take your leap of faith then. So be patient, enjoy the excitement, be open to symbols and new information, especially with the new opportunities, the fresh new systems, connections, information that's going to be coming in. So you may be surprised that the way you've been working, the way you've been doing things might change. That's what I'm getting. I'm just getting all this right now. How you usually do your day will possibly change, your routines, who you're spending time with, but also the way you do things, the way you work, your methods will change. Okay. Your structures are going to change. And for some of you, there's been a lot of resistance to that building up to now. It's been rocky, it's been turbulent, but they're saying you had to go through that. And again, they're showing me the image of a mother in the first stages, the first trimester of pregnancy, how it can be rocky. There can be morning sickness, there can be stomach pains, there can be exhaustion, there can be headaches and cravings and all kinds of crazy stuff as she adapts to this new way of being. Okay, so it's the very same. That was like your first trimester of this change of creation. So now you're adapting, now you're getting used to this new footing. You found your footing, and now you're going to start enjoying the grooves that you've created. They're not going to be, it's not going to be a path that has not been trodden, right? You've found a way to put your own marks, your own grooves on the path or in the path. So it's starting to feel like more like your own course. Okay, I did not expect to channel that information at all. So that just came in for it. That's obviously for somebody or for some group of people, perhaps my Blu-ray friends, crystals, maybe the indigos, I don't know. But somebody was meant to get that message because it just came out of nowhere and I was not expecting it. And usually when I'm really tired, like I am right now, I wouldn't channel that crisply, but it was so vivid. Like I could see you in the dark room doing dipping the what will be the photograph into that water. I can't remember the name of that water, what they dip it into. Put it in the comments below. Yeah, so this is a highly creative time, guys. Okay, this is a magical time. There's a lot of magic right now in the air. There's an influx of very supportive, uplifting energy and frequencies and vibes. If you access it, if you allow it in, it is there. Okay, don't be afraid of making peace with that fear-based stuff that was just surfacing for a lot of people. It's just the lower mind that's has to be purged, it has to be cleansed. But we are moving into this magical, brighter time, I'm very happy to say. And there's a lightness to these frequencies, which is so welcome. So enjoy being light and being enlightened and being a bright light in this world. And now I think Mama needs to get some rest. So good night.